welcome to lovely Glassboro, New Jersey. This is the Crafty Toads podcast.
Morning.
We have just finished bribing our dogs with milk bones. We will see how long that lasts. I believe last time it was 1 minute and 44 seconds. We'll see how long it lasts this time. Welcome. We are the Crafty Toads. I am Mary Beth. You can find me all over as Mary Beth 494.
And I'm Helen, and you can find me as Helen HG69.
This is better?
Now you're right on top of me. I don't like you that much. It's fine.
Okay. There's
We'll
just so much I can do here. Okay. We are sisters and we own a business together called Toad Hollow, where we make project bags and dye yarn for knitters and crocheters, and also do other things like pillows and paper products and all sorts of fun things. You can find that at toadhollownj.com, and we pop up every now and then as Toad Hollow on Instagram, Facebook, and Periscope. We have a Ravelry group called the Crafty Toads. We have 2 knit-alongs going along right now, so that one knit-along, one crochet-along, if you would like to come and join us. We have a great group of people that are our members, so please feel free to come. Just look for the Crafty Toads podcast.
Yep.
I think that pretty much covers everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Drew says challenge accepted.
Yeah, she's done. Alrighty. So, as I said, this is a knitting and crocheting and general making podcast, and we haven't done a whole lot of showing of our knitting recently. It seems we've been doing other things, so we are naming this one State of the Knitting Address, because we're going to show you a whole mess of knitting and crocheting and making. So
It's the new bright shiny thing.
Yeah. All right. Where shall we start?
Shall we talk about our life or
No,
start with stuff?
start with stuff. Let's start with
Okay.
stuff. Let's get stuff going. So,
Okay, we talked about crochet and knit along, so we'll start there.
okay. All right. Do you want to
along.
go first?
Sure.
Okay.
Our first knit along is we are doing from now until Rhinebeck a knit along with the Mitered Nova shawl.
We are doing this in conjunction with Piper Nell, the Piper Nell podcast on YouTube. And you can find her, I believe, as the Piper Nell podcast on Ravelry.
And she is Chanel Wu is the designer. And this is the Mitered Nova shawl.
It is so pretty.
She is a fellow New Jerseyan. We met her at New Jersey Sheep and Wool. We met up with her. We've already met her. And she was wearing this gorgeous shawl. So,
And everybody was like, oh my God, what is that shawl?
So we decided that we are going to do a knit along with it. And I am
Much further along than I am.
That's
like,
okay.
this is a shock.
Using my one color is Electric Blue Jeans, Toad Hollow yarns. And my second is Corn Silk, also Toad Hollow yarns. So I am to this about halfway through the second section where I'm striping the two. So we had the first section where it was just pretty much garter and increasing in the Electric Blue Jean, and then now I'm just doing my sections where I stripe, and then I will go into just all Corn Silk. But I love how this is knitting up, and I
It's
love
so
how
pretty.
fast it is, because it's you only dealing with 70 stitches, so that it's not as deep as a normal shawl. It's going to be very long, but it's very nice because it whips along.
Very, very pretty. I'm having a bit of a problem with my backbone. The one that goes down the middle, and Helen is so nice.
Got
and
it so
even.
that you have a...
So, so mine is not quite as far along, because I did mine and realized that I had done it wrong, so I took it out, and then I did it again and realized I had done it wrong and took it out and started over again, and I think this is start number 4. I think that's where I am. Anyway,
It's not a difficult pattern. It's a tired
it's
knitter.
not. It's such an easy pattern. It's not that it's a difficult pattern. It's just, here's mine. I'm doing mine out
You have
of,
a thong.
Yes. Poison pokeweed. That is my first color. I have just gotten to the point where I'm about to start adding in my second color, which is... Dun, dun, dun.
I think I love mine, and then I see your two together.
This is Will-o'-the-Wisp.
Yep.
So that is going to start being my stripes. As you can
This
see...
is going to be a very purpley scarf for you.
I know. I don't
Just
have
unlike you.
purpley.
Yeah.
So I figured, why not? As you can see, I was doing fine with my spine knitting, and then all of a sudden, I have no idea what I did.
Have you got it back on track?
I
It's
don't
like you wrapped it.
know.
I mean, it almost looks like you wrapped the stitch.
I don't know. I'm not sure. And I'm not as
Not
upset.
Starting it again.
I'm not starting this again. But I'm not really upset with it enough that I want to take it back 5 rows or whatever.
Yeah, as long as you, I mean, right now, as long as you get it back on track, it's going to be hardly noticeable.
Right. So I figure I'm just going to keep going and see what happens. And we'll see. So this is my Mitered Nova. I love it. I really do. I think it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. And I really love my color combination. So I can't wait to throw the Will-o'-the-Wisp in there and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool when you start adding the stripe.
Right.
So.
So that is our knit along. We will be putting update pictures in the Ravelry thread. If you would like to, if you've joined up or if you would like to join, please come find it and show us your pictures of how far along you are, because we want to see.
And
we
I
want
mean,
to see your colors.
Finishing is not the end game. Don't worry about not finishing or anything. Just start and come join and talk about it. And Piper or Chanel has said that she's available for any questions or anything like that. So.
Right.
And make sure you join in her podcast group as well.
And what I plan to do is, since I'm not really knitting a Rhinebeck sweater, I'm just going to be going with the dance of the 7 veils. I will be taking off shawls one by one, because I'm just going to wear shawls.
Well, it starts off and it's very cold in the morning, and then as we go along,
we'll be just taking them off one by one. So
while we're talking about Rhinebeck, we are going to be there Sunday.
Sunday,
We
yes,
cannot
we have
go Saturday. So
we have the mom thing. So we will be in New York on Saturday, and New York City on Saturday, and Rhinebeck on Sunday.
Yep.
Hopefully, we will be able to find you and see you, and you will
Yes.
come and find us and say hello. And yeah, we definitely want to talk to people and see their shawls and everything. But unfortunately, we cannot make it on Saturday. So there it is. You know,
life.
yes, family. What are you gonna do other than lock them inside? Okay, next up.
So our crochet along, another New Jersey designer we met at New Jersey Sheep and Wool was Rachie Newen. And she is a crochet designer. So our crochet along is any one of her many shawls or projects, because she has other things too. So I am doing her latest one, which is the Imprint of Autumn shawl. That just flew right up. There you go. Perils of podcasting outside. So it's got a little simple lace pattern and then just a lot of double crocheting. But I am doing it out of the Witching Hour, which is one of our Halloween colors this year. And this is how far I've gotten.
Wow. Do you want me to hold one side?
Sure.
Oh my god.
I just love how
Oh my god.
the Witching Hour is crocheting up.
So do I. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So it's a relatively simple pattern. The little bit of paying attention that you have to do to get the lace sections, but other than that, since I am not a master crocheter, I am not having any problems with it. So
That's really, really, really beautiful.
yeah, so I'm really thrilled with how it's coming out.
Yeah.
So.
I like the way your circle is very defined.
Oh
You
yeah,
start with a circle and crochet double crochets into it, right?
yeah,
Double crochets.
double crochet. Let
And I really, really like the way
me do the other side. So.
it shows up really well.
Yeah. And then it's just it's very delicate. really like it.
Yeah, airy fairy type
Yeah.
of thing. Very, very pretty.
Love how the colors.
Oh my god, the colors are gorgeous. Really gorgeous.
I crochet along and I hit these pops of orange, orangey red. Just like, oh. Poor dog. I am feeling very sorry for him.
Don't feel sorry for him. He's fine. I am doing the Storm Chaser shawl by Rachie Newen. I did not print this in color. Apologize. And I am just wondering, I think she's got a picture that's a slightly better picture of what it's going to look like. I'm sorry. I should have had this prepared.
Spike will sing you a song while we wait.
Here's the picture of her holding up final product, so you can see what it looks like. But I am doing mine in our Okie Dokie Artichoke color that looks like that. All greens, purples, and creams.
I'm still in the decay one.
This is where I am so far. Thank you. Okay. I read a book once about a girl who she crocheted something, and by the time she was done, I think it was a doily, it was such a crumpled mess, and she was so upset with it, and then she went to a county fair. It was set in like the 20s. You know, the 1920s. She went to the county fair, and there was this beautiful crochet doily there that she loved, and her grandmother explained that it was hers when she had washed it and cleaned it and basically blocked it. You know, I have this crumpled that is my shawl that will be beautiful when I am done, you know, but anyway.
I like your this part here. This is cool.
Yeah, that's my thing that comes down.
Yeah.
The basic seam, again, the spine of it. So I love the colors. I love the way the colors are showing up. I picked this one because this one was for a slightly easier crochet. It's just doubles and triples pretty much. And it's following the pattern because at one point you do a triple crochet into the single crochet below, and then the next time you do a single crochet into the triple crochet below, so that you're getting this lacy pattern here, which is just really, really pretty. I am hoping that it's not puckering this way because of my tension, you know, and that I'm too tight. I'm really hoping that's not the case.
I mean, we could get you a little bit further along and then block what you have.
Right. And see
what happens.
I don't know, because yours isn't puckering at all.
Well, you are it would appear you are as tight a crocheter as you are a knitter. So, but I don't think so. I mean, as long as you've got the proportions right,
it should be fine, right?
I really think it should. Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be fine.
Okay, we shall see. I really, really like it. I love the way it's coming out.
I have to tell you, our yarn crochets up beautifully.
Yeah. It's really very, very pretty the way it's coming out. I'm going to look like a giraffe. A purple and green spotted giraffe. That's all that it's reminding me of right now. But that's where we are as far as our crochet and knit alongs are coming along. As I said, we'll put progress pictures up. So
yeah, I haven't put anything up in the group. I've been terrible about it. I haven't even actually made project pages for them.
Okay.
So I have to get on the stick on that.
I'm pretty sure I did that.
Yeah, you were better about it than I was. So.
All right, moving right along. What should we do next? Should we do socks next?
Sure. How many socks do you have?
Just one.
Okay.
How about you?
Just one.
Okay.
These are my solar socks. I showed them last week because I was turning the heel. And I had done the German short row heel because I'm doing my socks 2 at a time. So what I should do is, we have brand new sock blockers.
Right, but I figured you do that once you they're done.
Yeah. So this is where this heel was done last week, and then I was right here on the other heel last time we podcast. So I got this heel done, and I've done a couple rows on going towards the foot. These are mainly my car knitting. So, story about that. We haven't had a whole bunch of car time recently.
Right.
So my solar socks in my Welsh yarn that I have no idea what the name of it is because I lost my label. But those are my socks.
Very pretty. Very, very pretty. I am also doing 2 at a time.
That's my driver's license.
Really?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Good to know where that is.
You know which bag I usually take with me when we go out.
Okay. All right. We'll have to remember that. I am doing socks 2 at a time. Hermione's Everyday Socks. This is in marinated yarn.
You've done a lot more sock knitting.
Yeah, Sailor's Delight. The last time I showed these, I was here. I have now come up. I have stuck my needle right through the sock. Okay. I have come up, added both the heels, and started coming down the foot. So that's where I am. I was saying to Helen yesterday, I noticed I have an extra stitch marker on here, and I'm like, why do I have an extra progress keeper on my socks? And then I realized it's a drop stitch that I just caught with that, and I'm going to have to sew it in. But
so are you doing the pattern on the bottom of the foot too?
I am.
Okay.
I decided that I was going to do it on the bottom of the foot, so I am doing it straight through, and pattern on the top and the bottom.
There was a discussion pre-podcast whether she would go just across the top, whether she would stocking it the whole foot.
I was doing this when I was sitting out in the sun at a trunk show. No, stop being a wuss about it. Just, wake up, pay
it's
attention.
Knit 2, Purl 2. It's not like it's the most difficult pattern.
Because it's you purl 1 and then knit 3 and then purl 1, and it's just a matter of where you place it. So it's a fairly simple pattern to follow. But I really like the way it is coming out. And I have to say,
Marion
Marinated Yarns, she does absolutely spectacularly gorgeous yarn. I don't know whether she meant this to stripe or not. It is striping. Not only is it striping, it's got little zigzags of yellow going through. It is stunning.
Yeah.
I adore it. So, hopefully these will be finished before, December.
Yeah, I was going to have these done by this podcast.
These, I think I began in February. I will give myself that I did not knit on them for a very, very long time, for like 6 months. But I've picked them up. I'm going with them. Socks are going back. So, and I think I have at least 2 other pairs in various states of starting. Oh my God, that hawk. There's a hawk up in the tree. He's gorgeous. There he goes. Oh my God, he's so beautiful. Anyway.
I have never seen one that close.
I know.
I thought he was coming for us.
Socks. Sorted.
Okay.
All right, moving on. I have this pile of project bags, so I have to pick which one we're doing next. It's like Jenga with project bags. All right, so what's up next?
Next on my pile is my Fairy Hill.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Which one has the Fairy Hill?
So ages ago, we joined the Secret Shawl Society 2 from Helen Stewart, because as regular viewers know, we are fans of Helen Stewart.
I don't think I have my Fairy Hill.
Thought you did.
Nope, it's the one thing I didn't bring. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
Haven't really worked on it. Go ahead.
So I'm trying to figure out where I was the last time. Oh, it's been a while. Okay. So this is where I was the last time I showed it. It's getting quite big. I think I'm about 65% of the way through.
Wow.
I've changed my color.
So pretty. This is so gorgeous.
So I just pick this up every once in a while and do a couple rows. I'm in a very, I mean, her lace pattern is not difficult, but you obviously have to pay attention. So I have to
Be awake.
be awake and make a conscious decision that I'm going to pay attention. So, but as usual, I love it.
Ugh.
Love the colors.
Okay, Bad Tuesday,
Yeah, Bad Tuesday is the first color,
the purpley yellow.
which was a one-off that we did, and then this is Desert Lily, which is from our Deadly Garden series.
I thought this was fairy mouse for a minute, but no, it's Desert Lily,
no,
huh?
it's
Because
Desert
there's
Lily.
the orange.
Yeah.
Oh, so
So
pretty.
it's got like a pinky with oranges and reds in it. So
Very, very, very pretty.
that is the state of my fairy hell. It's just one of those that I say, I work on it occasionally, and eventually it'll be just like, oh look, I finished.
Yeah. Or you'll get to the end of it and you'll be at 98% and you'll say, okay, that's it. I'm just finishing this because 98% we're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is my Helen Stewart that I've been working on the most. I am doing the red Robin Shawl. I am doing this in Hanging the Stars, our yarn that was one of our destination club, our yarn club.
This is just a great shawl to just showcase yarn.
Yeah, this is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So I was here the last time I showed it. Really come quite a bit. I haven't shown it in a bit, but I have just hit one of the textured patterns, like a little, it's not even so much lacy as just like a textured pattern. And
That's really cool.
then you do a little bit more of stockinette, and then I think you do another texture pattern. I may make it, it's supposed to be a small kerchief shawl. I think what I will probably do is do it till I run out of yarn, just finish off the yarn. So instead of taking it to the end of the pattern where she says start binding off, I may add on another section or two just to finish off the cake of yarn, and make it just a little bit bigger. But
Leave enough for minis.
it's really, really, really beautiful. I love it. So this is the Red Robin Shawl. I think I got this as a free pattern when I signed up for her newsletter. And I think if you sign up for her newsletter, you can
This Spindrift, I think, is the one I got.
pick a free pattern. So I picked this, and just really, really, really love it. I love working on it. I find the texture one an interesting texture.
Yeah, it's really cool. How do you? Wow.
Well, it's you're knitting, you're slipping, and then pulling a stitch over knitted stitches.
Oh, okay.
So that's what's causing
really
that little
cool.
cross thing. I think it's so pretty. So
You managed to get your spine going on that one.
I know. I don't know what it is. It's just
The Curse of the Mitered Nova.
yeah. So this is the yarn that I am using, and that's how much I have right now. I think I'm not sure how far along I am. I don't have the pattern printed out. I use it on my iPad, so I'm not sure exactly how far I am on it, but oh, do you know what? This was one of her first patterns. She hadn't gone over to the percentage one yet, so that she just does do this and repeat these 2 rows over and over again till you hit this much, and then do these rows. So that is my Helen Stewart Red Robin Shawl. Done. Okay. I made Helen go in and get her scarf to show you because it kind of ties into my next whip as well. And I just started doing a couple of stitches, and can I tell you how much easier it is to do in the daylight when I'm awake and I can see what I'm doing? So much easier.
So one of my long-term projects is the mini Mania scarf, and it's using all your minis with a linen stitch, and I am of course a glutton for punishment, so I am doing the ridiculously epic 600 stitch version.
It is so pretty.
I love it,
I want it.
and I was working on it yesterday in the car, and this is where I was the last time. So I've done about an inch or so.
The colors are so
Yeah.
pretty.
I love this linen stitch and how all the colors play together. So it's ridiculously epic, 600 stitches long. So
However,
a row of knit stitch, wrap stitch, slip stitch takes about a half an hour.
yeah.
So
I am so in love with Helen's. I just really hate doing the linen stitch. So I decided I was going to, as I said, since I'm a crochet master, I'm now going to design a scarf.
I was going to say, not only are you going to do it in crochet, you're going to design your own.
Design a scarf. So I chained 600 stitches. I have an idea of how to make it work for showing the yarn the way the linen stitch does, so that you're showing the colors together. I have an idea. I have to try it out first before I can talk about it, to make sure I'm not talking out my hat, and it actually does make sense. So I have.
Now, we worked it through, at midnight.
Yeah, because
so
that's
why won't it work?
That everything
It's going to work
works
perfectly.
I have great ideas in the shower and at midnight. So I am right now, I have done my foundation chain, come back, single stitched in every one, and I am on my third row of single stitch. She looks like a giant tape.
It really does. Oh, God. Oh, look.
Butterfly.
Gorgeous, huge black and blue butterfly. This is the problem with podcasting outside. I have my ADD comes through.
Okay, so the sun is coming over the
and
trees.
it's starting to hit my back.
And it's starting to hit my back. It's so nice and warm.
It's
so
90 degrees
nice and
outside.
warm. Anyway, so 3 rows. I'm going to do like Helen is doing, 3 rows of each color as long as the color lasts. And then I am going to start my next color once I finish this.
So are you singling or doubling?
Singling.
Okay.
Because we thought doubling was going to be too gappy. I'm doing single stitches, single crochets. We will see what happens.
I kept asking her last night. She was doing this foundation. I'm like, so how far are you? Oh, about a third of the way through. So you've done your foundation row?
I've done I did the...
So you're on your third row.
I cast on, yeah, I'm on my third row. Here's 3 rows.
Okay.
That's 3 rows of a color.
So then you'll switch after this and start doing the different stitching.
Yep, the next one is I am doing this on an E-hook.
It's a 3.5 millimeter.
Very small. I'm doing it in fingering weight with minis. Right now, this is Marinated Yarns, one of her marionettes. It's not the dragon scales, it's the other one I have, the bright colors, but rainbow colors. So that is where I am right now.
I can't wait to see if this is going to work.
I know, next time I hope to have it that I will show you the other stitch that will actually work and start blending the colors. We shall see.
Look at my hair.
If it works, it's going to be epic. Really epic.
Ridiculously epic.
Ridiculously. So that's where I am with my scarf, because I can't be easy and do it the easy way. I've got to, just go and...
Well, I really don't think there's much easy about 600 linen stitches. So.
Nope, not at all. All right, what's up next?
But when we are tooling around New York City this winter, I will be wearing my scarf. Maybe next winter.
Or, wearing it and crocheting as you go.
There you go.
So. Okay, I have...
You have 2 blankets.
So
do another... I have 1 blanket, so you do a blanket and then I'll do a blanket.
Okay. All right, since this is State of the Knitting, this is one of my blankets.
So State of the Knitting. Here we go into the 3rd crochet project.
This is my crochet blanket. This is where I was last time. So I've added that much.
God, you've got a lot.
Yeah, because it's a granny square, so it goes all the way around. I have 6 colors.
This is just psychedelic.
That I just
so cool
randomly grab, and as long as it is not the same color I just finished, it's good. I'm not doing any particular pattern. I just am grabbing and going.
So you are not magic knotting, right?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I am.
You just haven't snipped your
I
knots.
haven't snipped my things yet. But
I'm
yeah, no, I
curious
am.
how big the knots are.
Not terribly big.
Yeah, they're not really obnoxious.
And actually, yeah. I don't. Oh, I had to add this color in the middle. That's why it's in the middle. A couple of these, I have them in the middle of the row because normally what I do, you can see here, this is
okay,
my starting point
Okay.
where I change the colors and you can see all the things there. But I have a couple that are in the middle because I ran out of the color in the middle of a row. So yeah, no, it's not terribly big, and it's just I'd have to
So
weave
I
it in a
actually
little
like
bit.
this cotton better than the other. I think it's a little bit of nylon. It makes it a little bit softer.
Premier Yarns, the Premier Cotton yarn.
But it doesn't feel as dense and heavy as
The other one.
the sugars and cream.
So this is, I'm doing this with a 4.5 millimeter hook.
You're pulling it out?
No, I'm pushing it back in.
No, but you're pulling it out?
As I do it, yeah, it pulls out. For some reason, this particular handle doesn't stay on terribly well.
Oh, that's
Doesn't
not,
come
it's not
out.
the same as our other ones. That's the
Yeah.
Susan Boyle
It doesn't come
cheapo one.
out as much. It just comes out a little bit.
Yeah.
I just have to push back in every now and then.
Okay.
So this is my granny square blanket that I am working on. I figure I'm maybe a third of the way done as far as width, and then I'm not sure. I may, when I hit the width I want, I may decide to just go back and forth on the top and the bottom
Okay.
and not go all the way around because I don't want it to be a giant square that's
Yeah.
like hanging off everywhere. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Just not sure how that's gonna look.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Or it may just be that
It's a giant
by the
bird.
time
Yeah,
it gets the width, the length is going to be the right thing for my
Yeah.
bed too anyway. So I really love the colors.
Yeah.
So I'm very much enjoying it.
It's very boho.
I throw in, I work on it a little bit in the morning.
Yeah.
Um,
Long term.
yes, very much. So I am now going to move my project keeper while you, or my progress keeper while you show yours. Which one are you showing?
The hydrangea.
Okay.
My mini, you can't really tell, and that was just on Instagram. So this is my hydrangea stripe blanket. It's an Attic 24 pattern, and I am using. Sorry, bit break while the camera ran out of time. So this is my hydrangea blanket. It is, again, ridiculously epic. I really think I may have overdone it on the width.
Do you know how many stitches you cast on?
350-ish.
Okay.
So, I don't know where I was.
I've just felt something, I think.
Over here.
Okay. There you go.
So I was on this yellow the last time I showed it, so I've only done a couple more. I was gung-ho with it, and then, I got distracted by other stuff.
Lots of stuff.
Yeah, so it's one of those where I try and do a little bit every time, and then I ran out of this blue as I was doing the row, so now I have to
Attach the new skein.
I just got a new skein, so you can see where I ran out. Barely enough to attach.
What hook are you using?
I'm using an H, which is a 5mm.
Okay.
So I really love it.
It's going to be so pretty when you're done.
It's gonna be very pretty when I'm done, but I'm now to the stage where, okay, I've done that. I'm ready for the blanket to be done. That was fun. Who's gonna finish my blanket for me?
Are you conscientiously following a pattern with your colors?
Yes. So from here, from the bottom to this purple is the
It's one
colors.
repeat?
Yeah. So
Okay. Wow.
yeah.
Very, very pretty. It's going to be great for wrapping around your shoulders as you're sitting outside.
Yeah.
Or just draping over your bed.
So.
Or draping over you and a dog as you sit on the couch watching TV.
Right. When I'm doing it, I enjoy it. The cotton is very dense and heavy, as I said, so I can't do that much in one sitting because it hurts my hands.
Okay.
But this may be wider than it is long. We'll see. This may be a giant wrap that is only this wide. No.
It could be that you just turn it sideways.
Right.
And now this is the length and it goes stripey that way instead.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. Love it.
Especially since I have now been distracted by yet another blanket pattern. So.
Oh, we'll talk about that coming up. Yeah. Okay. Very, very pretty.
There's my blue. And as I take each thing out of its bag, it's like, oh, I want to work on that.
I know. I don't want to do work.
Oh, I never want to work.
I just want to sit out here because it's absolutely beautiful. Okay. This is my other blanket. I am doing this in the cotton and peaches and cream cotton, and you will see duplicate colors from Helen because I'm using some of the same colors. But mine is a sampler blanket. Put this in one. That would be pretty. This is my...
Maybe I'll make that my border.
Blanket. Each set of stitches is a different type of stitch, so I am learning new stitches. This is my in-between color that goes in between the different sets of stitches. So I am right now back on bobbles. Bobbles are going to be the death of me, but I did 4 rows of bobbles down here. I did not read the directions completely, and so half the bobbles are on the other side because she says, like a throwaway line at one point, you might want to do a row of single crochets so all the bobbles face the same way. I did not read that part the first time I did it, so I have them facing different directions, but that's okay.
It's a sampler.
Yes. And I'm learning. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm learning. These are lark's feet here. These are just half double crochets, which the orange, purple, and pink I really love. These are granny. Oh no, this is the wave. And then these are granny clusters. So all different kinds of stitches that I'm doing, and different colors. Again, as you can see, there is no rhyme or reason as to the color choice. I just grab. Started, rather than getting the little things, I've started getting cones of colors. Wherever I can find them, I grab a cone because I'm just going through the little ones so quickly. And the last time I grabbed this cone, which is a different color than anything else I've got in here yet, so I'm going to start throwing in a different color too. I figure I'm just going to, see what I find. So this is where I am right now. The last time I showed it, I
just saw it. It's back here. You were right before the pink.
Okay. I was in the yellow?
Yeah, no, you were in the...
Oh, look, I haven't really done very much at all.
Yeah.
I'm just doing bobbles. Again, I throw in a couple of stitches in the morning when I'm just starting out, when I have a chance to. So this is where I am.
Busy mornings recently.
Yes. So very long. Mine, I think, is 250 stitches in and around there. I think it had to be a set of 12 plus 3, something like that.
Okay.
Divisions of 12 plus 3. So I did like it may be 247 because I did 244 and then added 3 to that. I don't know. Anyway, that's where I am. Moving right along.
Very cool.
But I do enjoy it. I really, really do enjoy it. I will move my stitch marker if you would like to talk about your next thing, because I believe I am done now as far as knitting, crocheting stuff.
We have not got enough to do.
Nope.
So
we have a new obsession.
We both, I mean, actually for a while now, we both wanted to start a quilt of some sort. So the other day I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to do a pillow top of scraps just to get started. Stop talking about it and get started. So I have taken our Halloween scraps and I've created this.
Well, the air conditioner goes off and it makes such a difference.
Yeah. This pillow top. So it's just a couple 9 patches, 9 squares, and it's not very well done.
It is. It's beautiful.
Things don't line up, but in my the quilting that I chose to do this morning was trying just to stitch in the ditch.
I understand it.
It's just stitching in the seam. So
where your 2 fabrics come together, you do a line down there.
So that is what I chose to do.
I think it's beautiful.
Hopefully next week I will have a next podcast I will have it as a completed pillow, because I'm just going to back it with some canvas and it'll be like a 14 by 14 pillow. But I mean, it was a learning experience just on, you know, I know that I have to line up my squares and my squares all have to be the same size. I know that going in. But just learning how to get them all so that they're lined up, because I was pretty good about the individual 9 squares,
Right.
them lining up, but then them lining up with each other was not so. I mean, look at this.
Well, I think the only way you notice it is
Because
in
of
that
this.
middle piece.
Right.
That's the only time you notice it. So
You can see that these 2 are not the same. So,
however, God bless you.
excuse me.
Once you back it and put a pillow in it,
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm selling it or anything.
right?
So,
It's gonna be.
it's just going to be a fun Halloween project for
Yeah.
us. So,
I love it. I think
and
it's so pretty.
You know what? I did something.
And I
stopped
love the
talking about
colors.
it and I did it.
Yeah, no, I
So,
really love the colors.
Yeah.
The last time we were at the fabric store, we each picked out. Did you get a jelly roll?
Yes.
You got a jelly roll, and I got a packet of fabric squares.
Fat quarters.
Right. So I plan to do something with it, and I have to do it quickly because it's fall colors. However, I love fall colors. I will keep it out all the time, but I have to get through another deadline first, and then I can start playing. Very cool.
So it was just something each morning I would do, you know, like the 9 patch before. And so next
Love it.
time I will make sure that all of my squares are together.
Right. Well, you know what? It's a lot of this comes with practice.
Well, that's what
I
I
think
figured. You know what? I'm not going to just be like, oh, they don't match, I'm going to throw it out.
Right.
It's just, you know.
And if you think about when we first started making bags and everything, and the mistakes we made,
Yeah.
you know, getting better at it.
Yeah.
Good. Very good.
And my quilting is terrible.
First time you quilted, so really.
And I was rushing to get it done before the podcast. We started podcasting. So.
Okay, so now you know, take your time. Okay.
So
Beautiful.
that is my new thing.
Alrighty. What else do we have to talk about? Shall we talk about? I
Stuff
think
to
that
show.
is the end of
Making.
We did New Jersey Sheep and Wool. Had a great time. We talked about that the last time. We were all set to do a craft show in Pittman, which we were really excited about because 5 minutes away, piece of cake, gonna be able to set up.
Big craft show.
Yeah.
Big money.
Very excited about that. And Saturday morning, we had everything loaded up in the car, ready to go. Turned the key.
Hi, Jake.
Sorry, helicopter going overhead. Anyway, got in the car, turned the key, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not even clicks. So we called AAA, had them come out to jumpstart it. We thought it was the battery. He started talking about timing belt jumping and
New motors
and costing lots and lots of money, because if it is the timing belt, you have to take out the entire motor to get to the timing belt.
And it's a Saturn, which makes it that much more difficult.
After vomiting.
After panicking because, the show has started and we're not there.
And there's no way we can get to it.
And it's just,
My brother said,
it's
well,
a huge
could you...
loss of money, and also it's very bad form
Right.
to not show.
And my brother said, could you, get an Uber? And then I took a picture of all the stuff that was just the inventory, the boxes and bags of inventory, and that wasn't even the shelving and the tent and everything else that we had to get there. I mean, when we go, the SUV is jam-packed. There is no extra space in
We
there.
were actually to the point where we were saying that
If you open the door, everything was just going to come
everything's coming out. And that, from now on, that we would probably have to rent a van because we're just getting so much.
So, and it is now 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, and the show is actually starting. And so we had to cancel last minute, which we felt awful about, and is, as Helen said, really bad form, and we hated it doing it, but there was just no way we were getting there. So then my brother said that he had a car. He had just bought a new car, and he had an old car, a 2005, that has 155,000 miles on it and is perfect as an in-between car. So we rented a car, a Kia Soul, which I love. I love that car so much. I did not want to give it back. I really did not want to give it back. I had so much fun driving that car, even though it was an automatic. It wasn't even a standard. We're so used to driving a stick shift, and it wasn't. It was just a joy to drive. Loved it. Had all the latest technology. Really loved that part. I'm such a gadget person. Anyway, we rented that for a couple days, drove it down to Virginia to get the Honda, and in the process got to spend a little bit of time with the boys.
Yeah.
Which is always a plus. So that was an adventure. You want to talk about the end of the adventure?
So we were dropping the Kia, the rental car. We rented through Enterprise, so we were dropping it in Virginia. So we would both drive back in the Honda rather than having us drive two different cars back. And we had to get there by 6 o'clock. And of course, we were getting distracted by playing with the boys, and all of a sudden it's 5:30.
Watching Helen do the Groot dance.
Oh yeah, the boys, my brother put on the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and they do the baby Groot dance at the beginning. It's
so funny.
And all of a sudden it's 5:15, and we have to get going, and my brother hasn't unloaded his car yet, so we're rushing through
Dropping
Washington,
it off.
D.C. traffic. Oh my God.
We're
trying to get to the rental car company. We finally get to the rental car, and I'm in the wrong spot, so we had to go to a different building. And long story short, we're rushing. Mary Beth, I'm running in with the paperwork because it's 10 after 6, and they were still there. So I'm rushing in with the paperwork, and Mary Beth was taking stuff out of the trunk of the car to make sure we got everything. So we got everything back into the Honda, drove back to my brother's for dinner, and Mary Beth said something about, where's your bag? And my tote bag with all my knitting stuff had my iPad and, most importantly, the house keys.
The house keys.
To our house. I'm like, no, it was right here behind the couch. And then we remember, then I'm like, oh, no. I took it with us because I had my driver's license in it. So you must put it in the trunk of the Honda. So maybe goes out to check the Honda. It's not there. And
it was behind the seat.
Behind the seat in the Kia, the rental car that we had dropped off, where
which I didn't realize.
Closed.
It is now closed. We're calling Enterprise, the main number.
They're not there. There's nothing they can do.
We're explaining that we live in New Jersey. The keys to our house.
We have to go home tonight. The keys to our house are in the car.
Can't get into the house.
Thank God we had the dogs with us. But so then I got a very nice person. I called the Enterprise where we dropped it off was also a Enterprise dealership where they sell their cars. So I called the dealership because I knew they were open. I thought maybe they might have a key.
Or be able to get into
get into the building to get me a key. And he said no. He said, look, the best thing I can do is tell you call the roadside assistance, and hopefully what they'll do is treat it like a locked car and they'll come out and unlock the car for you. So I called Enterprise Roadside Assistance. I got a really nice, really super nice guy who, he's like, oh, well, that's a new one.
Oh, good. We're introducing something
I'm a
new.
trailblazer. He's like, well, we've done locked cars, but the renter has been in possession of the car at the time, so you're not really in possession of the car, and so it's kind of like,
Breaking and entering.
breaking into a car. And I'm like, okay, but my house keys are there. And he's like, well, could you get them tomorrow morning? I'm like, no, I'm in Virginia. I live in New Jersey anyway. He said, okay. I put it as a locked car. They're coming out. He's like, yeah, they'll be there in about 50 minutes. And I said, that's great. We're about a half hour away. So it was terrible because we're like, okay, great seeing you guys. We got to go.
Yeah.
Because by the time if this all worked out, then we had to get on the road because it was by this time close to 8 o'clock at night. We still had 3 hours drive. But
It was
we got
an
there.
adventure.
The guy was there. So nice. It took him forever to break into the car. Kias.
Yeah.
Who knew? Can't break into them.
Very difficult.
And he's working with a flashlight trying to break into the car. And at one point I'm like, okay, here, let me hold the flashlight for you. And then I took the flashlight and I'm like, yeah, okay, it's still there. Because I thought, what's going to happen is this guy's going to break into this car for me, and they will have checked the car, and my bag's inside.
Right.
It's not in the car. It's actually in the renter. It was there. We got our keys.
Made it home safely.
My nephews think that I'm losing my damn mind.
Pretty sure your brother is
my brother also,
convinced of that.
Yeah,
But
thinks I'm my mother. So.
look, it was one of those things,
And what comes out of it is, if you guys have to rent a car, rent
Enterprise. Oh my God.
Because throughout this whole thing, everybody has been so nice to us.
Really helpful.
The truck show on Saturday, and then we had planned to have lunch with Barbara from the Flame and Fiber podcast on Sunday. And she and I were going back and forth about where we were going to meet, and I knew that there was a fiber festival in
Lehigh
Valley, Pennsylvania. So called the Lehigh Valley Fiber Fest, and it's their first year doing it. So Barbara's from Pennsylvania, so we decided to meet there. And it was a very small, but really just a lovely afternoon.
And I think they're going to grow because they said that they had more people come on Saturday than they expected for the entire weekend. So they got a great turnout. And I think next year they're going to try and include live animals. This year they didn't, but I believe next year they're going to try and have live animals there. They had a couple of tents with vendors in them. Funnily enough, we met one that we knew. We had mentioned her name is Margot Sabati. We mentioned that we had gotten her knitwear book for the white sweater collection at one time when she was doing a trunk show at Chelsea Yarns, and we actually did a trunk show there during Wool Week.
She was doing the trunk show and we were doing the trunk show.
So, but she had a booth there, so we saw Margot and her sister, and that was kind of fun. And we talked to the lady who was in charge of it and said that we were interested in doing it next year. And she took a look at our card and she's like, "Oh, Toad Hollow, I know you." And I thought,
I've heard of you.
Okay, that's nice. That's very nice. Not expected, but yeah. So we may be doing it next year. We shall see. But it's a really nice, smaller, but hopefully growing.
And it's a beautiful wildlife preserve where they do it.
Yeah, we drove. It was about an hour and 45 minutes to get there, which I was, all right, an hour and 45 minutes. But Pennsylvania at this time of year is beautiful because we didn't spend much time near Philly at all. We went through Philly and then up through mountains, and the foliage is just starting to turn, and it's just the East Coast is gorgeous in the fall.
Yeah.
So, that was yesterday.
So that was our nice yesterday.
Yeah, we didn't buy anything, but next year we're going to be ready.
Yeah,
we are going to be ready. They had some fun fabric, fun yarn. People who have made
different yarns because they had alpaca and llama. Not your traditional merino. So it was nice. And
the local quilting guild had made a quilt that we put in a raffle ticket for because it's absolutely beautiful. Yeah. But they were raising money by they sold tickets to win the quilt.
Which they will be selling through December 2018.
Yeah, they just finished the quilt. They got it done just in time for the show. They were so excited that they had just finished it. So really pretty. Really, really pretty. It was a fun afternoon. It really was.
It was great seeing Barbara.
Yeah. We got to hang out with Barbara, talk to her.
Got just relaxing, walk around.
Yeah.
And, not a tremendous amount of time because it was hot. But maybe an hour or two. And then...
It's perfect.
Nice drive home.
Yeah. So, I said we didn't buy anything there, but we do have one acquisition that we can show.
Yes.
Actually, we have two, because we found out about our car and immediately did what everybody does and bought something, because we may have to sink thousands of dollars into our car. Let's go buy something instead. So we bought mugs. Look at my mug. This is from Pottery Barn.
Pier 1.
Pier 1, not Pottery Barn. Pay no attention.
It's way too colorful for Pottery Barn.
Okay, so Pier 1 and $7.50 for my mug. I love it. And
I was going back and forth between several of them that I will have to go back and get, but I decided to go with because of that right there.
If you color him black, that looks like Spike.
He's even got his goofy look, so that's mine.
They're so pretty. I love them. Anyway, the other thing we got was we watched David Dog Stars make cast and watched Jake and Ray, and they were talking about, they were doing, in their second podcast, they did a giveaway because he dyed a skein of yarn that did not match what he wanted, and he said whoever comes up with the name that they want to use will get a free one, and the name they chose was 2 Block Road Trip, because the person, Rebecca, right?
From the Mean Girls.
From the Mean Girls Knit, she won, and she said that as far as she's concerned, her vacation or her road trip, since she doesn't like to leave home, is basically a 2-block radius. So she said 2-block road trip, and that is what it looks like. And I saw him do this and giving it away, and I thought, really, I kind of need that yarn. So we placed an order. So I got this one,
and I got this one, which is I'd rather be in the Bahamas, which is pretty much true.
Yeah,
I'm with Jake. I can't afford the island, so. Lovely blues, a little bit of gray. It was really beautiful. And it's nice, soft, squishy.
Yeah.
85 BFL, 20% nylon, 400 yards.
really, really, really pretty.
Dog Star Knits.
Like that. Very much so.
Love the logo.
I am going to.
And I love the little added touch of sealing the yarn band with paws washi tape. And it comes wrapped in this tissue paper in this bag. This is awesome packaging.
Okay, so Jake, I know how you feel about your dogs. I totally understand that. Even when they're barking during a podcast.
Oh, the last podcast when Moxie just showed up in Jake's arms.
Yeah.
I was just...
Totally understand that. Yeah. All right. Here, you want to give me that? I've got a pile over here. Okay. Okay, so I think that is pretty much it. Are you done?
I am done. I'm hot.
Time to get to work.
Yep.
We got work to do. You've got work to do.
Go to work, people.
Yeah, why aren't you working? God, I hope you're just sitting and having a cup of coffee and knitting and enjoying, because that's the way you should do it. That is definitely the way to go. So,